If they gave a prize for being mean, the winner would be him.
The Muppet Christmas Carol is based on Charles Dickens' classic story of Ebenezer Scrooge, the greediest man alive.
I'll drink to Mr. Scrooge, even though he is odious, stingy, and badly dressed.
Humbug.
Scrooge is played by Academy Award winner Michael Caine, working with a most unusual cast of co-stars.
We have a few humans and a few Muppets. And I might add that the humans are very realistic.
Bob Cratchit, so there you are.
Mr. Scrooge, sir.
I must say, I do really like playing this sadistic old villain with all these lovely little Muppets who everybody loves so much, and I just hate a lot of them. It's really great.
If you please, Mr. Scrooge, it's gotten colder.
Yeah.
And the bookkeeping staff would like to have an extra shovel full of coal for the fire.
We can't do the bookkeeping. Yeah, all of our pens have turned to inksicles. Yeah, our assets are frozen.
How would the bookkeepers like to be suddenly
Unemployed!
This is my island in the sun.
I believe you convinced them once again, Mr. Scrooge.
Kermit the Frog is Bob Cratchit, Scrooge's clerk. Kermit's nephew Robin plays Tiny Tim. And of course, there's Miss Piggy as Emily Cratchit in a captivating performance.
They give me this teeny role. Obviously, they're frightened of my talent.
Nah.
Miss Piggy is just one of the 280 Muppets who appear in the Muppet Christmas Carol. Among them, some of the world's most beloved characters. There's Fozzie Bear as Fozzie Wig, and Animal, complete with a beat as usual. And this dynamic duo too, the Great Gonzo and Rizzo the Rat, teamed up to help tell the tale of Scrooge's redemption.
Stop it.
It's a new thing for the Muppets to do a classic story. They've stayed very faithful to the original story, with the exception of the fact that we have lots of barnyard animals playing the parts.
Everybody's looking back. There goes Mr. Humbug.
Director Brian Henson is the creative force behind the Muppet Christmas Carol.
We're sort of tried to set up a world where anything goes, where the Muppets are comfortable in it, and Michael Caine is comfortable as Scrooge in it, although he stands probably a full foot over anybody else in the movie.
Brian Henson is a great director.
He's a pig's director.
He has this thing about being close to rats. I don't know what it is.
We love working with him because he lets us off early for lunch.
This is Brian's directorial debut, but he's been great. You know, he knows how the Muppets work. He spent a lot of time with us before, and he's been very attentive to our needs.
So you'll probably have to sit on your coat a little bit.
And lets us be ourselves and do our own performances, you know.
Okay, Rizzo, now, this is your big scene.
Yeah.
You nervous?
Yes, I'm very nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's going to be just fine.
But I don't know what I'm going to have to do in the shot.
Don't worry. The director, Brian, will tell you. You just go on in.
But what if it's something I don't know how to do?
Don't worry about it. Come on.
I really hate this.
Come on, I'll catch you.
God save my little broken body.
Missed.
I never considered the Muppets puppets. I always considered them full-blown characters.
I forgot my line. Kermit!
Yeah, nobody tell her where I am, okay? All right, it's working out very well for Miss Piggy to play my wife, Emily Cratchit, but I just want to say three things about that. This is only a movie. This is only a movie. This is only a movie. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Daddy!
In our minds and in our heads and certainly in our hearts, they're very, very alive and very, very real. And it doesn't take a great stretch of the imagination to think of Piggy as an actress who has been given this wonderful role and then to try to imagine what it is that she would do with it.
I have had my fill of you, Mr. Scrooge.
Emily.
And therefore, I'm about to raise your salary.
Oh, and I am about to raise you right off the pavement and onto the... Pardon?
And where's Tiny Tim?
He'll be up there.
He'll be up
He's
there.
in shot.
Oh, there he is. Hello. Hi.
You never look at the puppeteer. I don't know why it is. I mean, you can see him standing there and his mouth moving. You still look at the puppet. They're so realistic. They take on a complete life of their own. It's very funny.
Behind the Muppets, or actually under the Muppets, there is a talented group of fun-loving Muppet performers, like Jerry Nelson performing Mr. Applegate, and Dave Goles performing Gonzo, and Steve Whitmire performing Rizzo, working beneath the raised-up stage where the camera can't see them.
We do know the lines, even if we don't shoot them right.
In fact, just put it in on the marker.
Happiest
For
of all.
9 busy weeks, Dave and Steve had their hands full, making the action and movement and voices happen. All that while watching TV monitors to make sure everything was working just right.
But the thing that made Scrooge happiest of all was that his life lay ahead of him, and it could be changed, or something like that. Terrible ratings.
We have a mainstay of both Muppets and Muppet performers. We don't really cast. The cast is too formal a word for us. We just say, hey, Bill, do you want to do this guy? Who's excited about this guy? Maybe you can do this guy. It's more who's excited and who has more fun about a particular character.
It's very, very complicated making a movie with the Muppets. What's great about it, though, is so much of the team that's here have been together for 15 years and are people I grew up with.
Director Brian Henson was among old friends while making The Muppet Christmas Carol. Being the son of late Muppets creator Jim Henson, Brian was raised among Muppets, learning his craft from a cast and crew who've come together again for the fun of facing a brand new challenge.
Everybody knows what's needed. Everybody knows how complicated it is. So it really isn't like starting from scratch. It really is quite amazing to watch the crew pull together and have it turn out feeling so effortless.
We have a great time joking around and doing it in character.
We always have so much fun between takes off camera, throwing in lines after the director yells cut.
By the way, there isn't a rat on my head, is there?
Right.
I just had that feeling. I couldn't explain it. Whoa, watch out, Rizzo.
There's action and adventure added to the laughter in The Muppet Christmas Carol, thanks to some extraordinary special effects and some amazing movie-making tricks, too, especially when Scrooge encounters the spirits of Christmas.
Jacob Marley?
It's good to be heckling again. It's good to be doing anything again.
Well, I didn't actually work directly with the ghosts, but they're all union and they're very cooperative.
Oh, look at that.
Of all the spirits, the one called Christmas Present was the most complex. Good old-fashioned Muppet making, combined with computer-age electronics, all done on a giant scale, with a full-sized man inside, while across the room, Jerry Nelson performed the spirit's voice and facial expressions by remote control.
Well, I'm usually trustworthy.
The Christmas Present is a new character. It's somewhat of a challenge to begin with, but it's also one of those characters that uses some of the technology. And so it's two people, in essence, focusing and bringing a character to life.
May I welcome you to Christmas morning?
For Scrooge's flying scene, a process called green screen made the impossible seem real. First, the Muppet performers put on green suits from head to toe. Then they filmed Michael Caine and Gonzo and Rizzo in a set that was painted and lit in the very same color. Later, for the finished film, everything green was removed and replaced with a whole new background of miniatures, models, and matte paintings, made to look like England in Dickens' day.
It's beautiful, Rizzo!
In the workshop, some more amazing things were custom created for the Muppet Christmas Carol, including dozens of gizmos, scores of props, and hundreds of Muppet characters, both old and new, like penguins, and pigs, and mice, and more. All handcrafted by members of the Muppets creative team, working in England and in the United States.
There has been put together here the most remarkable group of artists, craftspeople, creative types of every stripe that you could possibly hope to have. There are designers, there are builders, there are technical people, there are costumers, there are wig makers, there are people who know more about the smelly science of foam rubber than any of us would ever want to know. But they're there, they're here, and they are making miracles happen.
What's fun about it is that we're always trying something different. And we had talked about doing a classic with the Muppets for many years, and suddenly this came along, and we were able to take this, translate it into the Muppet world, and it works.
With an open smile and with open doors, I will bid you welcome. What is mine is yours. With a glass raised to toast your health. With a glass raised to toast your health. And a prize.
Music in The Muppet Christmas Carol features songs written by Oscar-winning composer Paul Williams, who found Michael Caine eager to sing with the Muppets.
He walked in and said, I don't know how to do this, but I'll do it anyway, and he did.
Don't let it slip away, how precious life can be.
If anybody could make a living purely singing and just do nothing else, Piggy could, you know.
I'd sing like maybe one verse and we'd cut. That's how big my part is.
Kermit lives a very clean life, you know, and he watches his voice. He takes really good care of his voice.
So I sing one song sort of myself with a bunch of rats, and that's kind of the way the Muppets work, you know, rats and critters like that.
The world has got a smile today, the world has got a glow. There's no such thing as strangers when a stranger says hello. And everyone is family, we're having so much fun. After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas.
My idea of a nice Christmas is you get a bunch of family and friends together, you give each other gifts, and you try to find something sharp enough to cut the fruitcake with.
Music, magic, and Muppets. In a movie over a year in the making. Dickens' timeless holiday story, told as only the Muppets can tell it.
The Muppet Christmas Carol is going to be a wonderful, wonderful movie. And it could have been better if my part had been bigger.
The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Feels like Christmas!